Hi, everybody, welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. My name's Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you here on Channel 59.3 BPOD TV and Roku. Big show for today. We're going to recap the Bears-Packers game. It was an expected loss, but Justin Fields didn't play badly. We'll talk about it in a second. Before we get started, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more of this show, search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com. If you want to watch more shows on the BPOD TV network, search up VPOD TV on YouTube. I want to start today with this. It wasn't all bad. The Bears game yesterday was not a complete dumpster fire. There were bad parts. We'll talk about them. If you're expecting a rant, stay tuned. But there were positives. There were things to hang your hat on. I mean, the Bears' offense did put up points. I'll take 30 points all day long. Justin Fields, despite a deceiving stat line, didn't play badly. We'll talk about why. And for that first half, the Bears were in it. They were winning. Really can't ask for anything more. I looked like an idiot after the first half. I told you don't watch, don't waste your time, going to be a blowout. And it wasn't at first. The Bears played well. Punt returned for a touchdown, which you never see. Fields was dealing to an extent. Bears were moving downfield. It's a back and forth game. I had no problem with that. You're on the road in Lambeau, cold weather. You're putting up that sort of performance. There looked like fight. Looked like a team cared. The Bears cared. They took pride in their performance. Nothing wrong with that. Then, the second half. Second half happened. You know, Matt Nagy went into halftime telling a reporter, I'm having fun. You having fun now? When your team sits at 4-9, when you know that your job's going to be taken from you in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Having fun now? You know, the real shame is, too, all of this, all that's happened, is only going to hurt Justin Fields. I saw Fields last night. He ran for his life. At every moment, he had to move. Pocket collapsed after a second, every time. Evan Jenkins had countless penalties. Couldn't block. Got beaten so many times, and I get it. I know he's a rookie. But for all of you who said, oh, he'd be great, what a great player, great pickup. I know that video of him at Oklahoma went viral. I don't care. The fact is, we watched him play, not looking too good. Larry Borum did okay. But regardless, the line did not protect Justin Fields. There was nothing. Nothing there. And when you look at Fields' stat line, okay, 18 of 33, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Doesn't look good. Looks like a crappy performance. He was running for his life. At every instance, never had time to throw the football properly. And we saw that. I mean, he's making jump throws over the line. That last interception he threw, no feet were on the ground. Sorry, you can't make a throw in the NFL when you have no feet on the ground. You have to be a very special player, like Aaron Rodgers did, to even try that. Justin Fields, rookie, bad receivers? No, not going to work. This guy's getting no protection, getting beat up. It's a sore, non-throwing hand. His ribs are sore. Got killed yesterday. What's the point? Look, I get from day one, you wanted to evaluate him. You wanted to see him. Shiny new toy, Justin Fields. Wow, here we go. Can we all admit that was probably a bad idea? Like, I get you wanted to put him in, but do you see what he's going through? Already gotten beat up. Ribs hurt. Now his non-throwing hand hurts. And he got hit so much yesterday, running for his life. Could develop bad habits from having no protection. And these are things we really don't talk about too much. Everyone's only focused on the positives and what Fields looks like and his potential, but the fact is, what we saw is scary. I don't even mean performance. I mean for his life, for his career. That's scary. Got to be better than that. Got to have better protection than that. That's for any quarterback in football, but especially for your rookie that you invested in. Gave up picks for. Now that sort of protection is a joke. Dan Wiederer, Evan Jenkins called for holding and also allows a strip sack. And yikes. Yikes. It's on the same play. One of your starting offensive linemen. Rookie. Supposed to be great. Justin Fields needs help, needs protection, needs play calling. I said this from the beginning. It's not going to help you when you got no one around you. Think about this for a second. And I'm not saying they're similar. I'm just talking about the situation. Josh Rosen. I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. Don't mix up my words. I'm talking about his rookie year. Rookie year, top pick in Arizona. New head coach, Steve Wilkes, never coached before, defensive guy, did not coach him well at all. Rosen had a horrible year. Now look at him. His career's over. I'm not saying it's because of all that, but don't tell me that didn't play a role. Rosen led the league in sacks, worst quarterback rating, tons of picks, 3-13 record, traded, Kyler Murray came in. You tell me that had nothing to do with his career trajectory, you're wrong. Made a difference. And that's something you have to worry about if you're the Bears. Look at Justin Fields, playing under a lame duck head coach, no protection, no defensive help. I mean, the Bears gave up 45 points yesterday. You're in a position to lose week in and week out. You can't even put up an encouraging performance. I'd love to see, just once, Justin Fields, 24-27, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. It won't happen. Not with this O-line. And we got people saying, oh, Justin Fields is pedestrian. He's not what he was in college. Well, of course he isn't. There's nothing around him. I might have been skeptical on Justin Fields. Sure, I'll admit it. But I'm not going to judge somebody based off that offensive line and that head coach. Matt Nagy didn't go for it on 4th and inches in the fourth quarter, down by 2 possessions. What does that tell you about his ability as a head coach? And you've got to be kidding me. Then Matt Nagy admitted it was a mistake. He said, quote, you wish you would have went for it. That's the part where you look back as a coach and go, damn, that would have been a time to do that. What? And just go for it. You didn't go for it. He chose not to go for it in that situation. He punted on 4th and inches, down 11 in the fourth quarter to Aaron Rodgers. Does that sound right? Come on. Really? You're going to punt down by 11, fourth quarter, 4th and inches? You don't have enough confidence to gain 1 yard on 4th down? Well, that should be a reflection in your offensive personnel and in your play calling. If you're scared about going for it in that situation, that's your problem. And that should show just about enough when it comes to Matt Nagy and his aptitude as a head coach. That's ridiculous. Come on, go for it. And the Bears are 14-43 combined with their past 6 head coaches against Green Bay. That's unacceptable. Matt Nagy's part of it too. It's just a joke. It's a joke. 4th and inches, down by 11, 4th quarter. Aaron Rodgers was tearing you up, had a great game, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I'm going to punt. What are you talking about? You're going to punt? Really? You have Justin Fields. You can't do anything to gain 1 yard. Nothing. That should go to show you what this is all about and what he's all about. Horrible coach. Want to address this too. This is something that kind of was talked about a bit, not really on the broadcast or even by people after the game. But I want to make sure this is out there so we can get this out of the way. Don't question Allen Robinson and his effort. This might be unpopular. I don't really care. Do you blame the guy for what he's going through right now? You can say whatever you want about his effort, about him not trying. The fact is he even being targeted? Whose fault is that? I'm a superstar wide receiver entering free agency. I'm not even being targeted 4 or 5 times a game. Do you really expect me to be so excited to play? I get it out. It's part of the team. Who cares? You have to try. I understand all that. I do. And here's a guy who's been the number 1 for years for the Bears. 1,000+ yards. Pro Bowler. Great player. Now he's sitting here getting 2 or 3 targets a game, and he's just supposed to be okay with that. Play the same way, not have a problem, and move on. No. Allen Robinson's effort is so blank, you at least make an attempt to catch that ball in the end zone on the final drive after the past 2 or 3 years. What happened? No. Don't be tagging Allen Robinson, saying he's wrong, and I'm not advocating or being a shill or anything. I'm just telling you the truth here. How would you feel? You're at the top of your craft, top of your job, and all of a sudden your boss says, well, you know what? I don't really want to use you too much anymore. For no particular reason. You're going to perform the same way? You're going to be happy about that potential demotion without it really being official. That's what this is. This is a demotion without it being official for Allen Robinson. That's unfair. And I don't blame him. I don't. You can all blame him. You can go after him. Come at him in the comments. Really not his fault. Target him more. You know, if you want him to put up better numbers, then how about Justin Fields or somebody throws him the ball more? That's just a fact. I'm not going to sit here and bash a guy who's literally been demoted in the offense, who gets little opportunities, never gets the football. How's that his fault? Not like he doesn't get open or doesn't really make plays. Allen Robinson's a good receiver. That's just short-sightedness. I'm not blaming Justin Fields either. If he got more time to throw the football, the whole thing would be different. But what I'm saying is, don't blame the receiver for not making plays, not putting up good numbers, bad effort, doesn't get targeted. If he doesn't get targeted, not his fault. Not targeted. The quarterback is not looking to throw the ball to him. Is that his fault? No. And usually, for the most part, Robinson does great no matter who the quarterback is. I mean, look at last year. 1,000 yards with 2 different quarterbacks, Mitch and Nick. That's why I love Robinson. For the most part, 99% of the receivers in the NFL depend on a quarterback. We always hear about it. Oh, these guys have a great relationship. Remember Jay Cutler and Earl Bennett? Oh, they both went to Vanderbilt together. He doesn't need that. As long as you target him enough, give him enough opportunities to catch the damn football, he's going to make the play. It's not his fault. he's not getting the ball. So next time you think about criticizing him for his play or for his effort or whatever you want to say, remember, it's not his fault he's not getting the ball. I'll contend this to this day. Not a bad wide receiver. Productive, reliable, usually, for the most part, always healthy. Not a bad player. And no need to come off the top rope to get him. There are way bigger problems at Hallis Hall besides their number one wide receiver. And him not getting targeted on top of it. I want to make sure I got that out there. Look, the fact is, the Bears were supposed to lose, and they did. But the way they lost was hurtful. It'd be way different if they got blown out. We all expected it. Would have hurt Matt Nagy. Whole thing. Would have been different if they lost closely. If the first half translated to the second half. But no. It was a first half of great football and a second half of a joke. Remember how we all blamed Chuck Pagano last year? Well, the Bears did at least. They fired him. Sean Desai doing better. Giving up 45 points to Green Bay. No, he's not. That's unacceptable. When you put up 30 points a game in the NFL, like the Bears did, there should be no reason why you lose. Especially with the Bears' defense. I know it's aging, I know it's older. Khalil Mack's hurt, Akeem Hicks was out, I get it. But 45 points to Green Bay, come on. Really? 45 points? Unacceptable. I just feel really bad for Justin Fields. I really do. He didn't ask for this. He didn't ask to be hit every game, break his ribs, hurt his non-throwing hand, have to jump throw, run away from the pocket every chance he gets, have no protection. He didn't ask for that. I knew the Bears' offensive line wasn't good. We all knew that. You know what? Telling me you can't even give him 2 seconds to throw the ball without running away? 1 second? Just immediately has to book it. Get out of the pocket and do something. Or get hit. That's just despicable. The Bears shouldn't have played him until they knew the offensive line was good because they are not blocking or protecting for him. That's just a fact. He has no time to throw, and he may develop bad habits because of this. Jump throws, off the back foot throws, more picks, more fumbles. No one cares. I've been advocating for his safety from day one. Go back and watch my videos from July, August, September. I said don't play him. Don't. Why subject him to all this? Everybody said, oh, he's got to learn. He could take it. Well, you know what? There's certain situations where that philosophy doesn't work. Look at Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. I really hope he recovers from that. You got Urban Meyer's going to be fired. Lawrence is throwing picks left and right, no weapons, nothing, coming from a program that was top in the country. Mentally, it's going to have a toll on you. Justin Fields, coming from Ohio State, great team around him, great coach, comes here, 4-9 record, leads the league in fumbles, second worst passer rating, can't even stand 2 seconds in the pocket and throw the football. Yes, that's going to cause damage to you, physically and mentally. Oh yeah, and a lame duck head coach who's going to be fired. These are things you got to remember when it comes to Justin Fields. I'm not saying he's done great. Statistically, he hasn't, but there are confounding factors here. I know everybody wants to see him just ball out right away. Some people saying, well, this isn't the Justin Fields I asked for. You're right. I didn't ask for it either. But look what's going on here. At Ohio State, he had everything. good weapons, good O-line, good coach, good scheme. Everything worked. Here, he's got nothing. He has no time to throw the football to the weapons he does have, like Allen Robinson or Darnell Mooney. No time. 2 seconds, out of the pocket. 2 seconds, sacked. Hurt. And this whole thing is just a horrible situation. I mean, personally, I wouldn't even play him the rest of the year. I'm serious. And that's not a knock on his performance. For his safety, I wouldn't play him. Matt Nagy's going to be fired, so why even sit here and memorize his offense and worry about it? Put in Nick Foles, who wants to compete for a job or whatever he wants to do. Put in Andy Dalton if he's healthy. Have them finish out the season. Wait till next year when Fields actually has a good coach. Maybe a better offensive line, too. Then we could talk about putting him in every day. Having him really learn how to play in the NFL. Because right now, he hasn't learned anything. He hasn't been taught anything. That's why. That's the difference. Same with Trevor Lawrence. Same thing there, too. Both of them. Identical, really, the situation. Urban Meyer might be worse than Matt Nagy, 100%. At the end of the day, they're probably both going to be fired. And the quarterbacks themselves that they're working with, bad schemes, no protection, no weapons. What does that mean? Tons of picks, tons of fumbles, bad performances. Like Josh Rosen and Steve Wilkes. That doesn't mean Josh Rosen's a great quarterback. What does it mean? It does mean Rosen himself definitely suffered after that rookie year. He did. Never recovered. What if he was in Mac Jones's place? Maybe Josh Rosen's career could be 100% different. But the fact that in his first year, worst O-line in football, most sacks, worst passer rating, bad coach who was fired after 1 year and has never gotten a coaching job since, 3-13 record, that affected him. What's happening here with the Bears could affect Justin Fields too. Thanks for watching today's show here on BPOD TV, channel 59.3 in Roku. Really appreciate the time. Remember, before we finish up, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more of this show, search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com. And if you want to watch more shows from the BPOD TV network, search up BPOD TV on YouTube. Really appreciate the time again. Remember, tune in this week. Big interviews. Randy Mueller, the former NFL Executive of the Year, is coming on. Should be a great talk with him about Bears and Packers. We'll have a Bears game preview against Minnesota on Monday Night Football as well. So make sure you tune in all week right here on BPOD TV. So long, everyone.